TIFU by giving my aunt I had cut off a second chance. Technically, this happened yesterday, but I never had the chance to write about it after it happened. My wife and I recently inherited a house, so we decided to invite people over. We have plans to invite friends over at a different point in time. And today was just about our families. Now I'm not close with my extended family, especially my aunt after a Thanksgiving incident several years ago, with her husband's recent health issues. Everyone keeps telling me that she's improved her behavior. So, I invited her because I know she's at her worst when she's drunk. So maybe I shouldn't have told people it was a BYOB. But then again, at least now I know that she hasn't really gotten better. When she was really heavily drunk, she's starting to say some really nasty things to my wife. There's a common issue among my extended family in regards to my wife. Because she's infertile, they're just that kind of traditional to where they think that I have to have kids. I love my wife. I've known her since the 2nd grade. And even though we haven't always been close, I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And fatherhood was never a big-time goal for me. So I have a zero-tolerance policy for anyone implying that I need to find someone else I can have children. My parents also don't really care if I ever do, because they themselves already have 4 grandchildren. The breaking point for me was when my aunt was saying, through slurred words, how I needed to find a woman who could give me children. I snapped, told her to watch her mouth, called her out on the nerve she had to speak to my wife that way after I gave her a second chance. Against my better judgment, I took my wife's hand, and we walked away from the table with everyone's gaze focused on my aunt afterwards. I took my wife over to our room for a minute to hold her. Her parents coming in to check on us. My aunt's husband came in to apologize on behalf of his wife, and said they'd be leaving early. I really hope I can see him again, but I'm not sure because I've already heard that my aunt wouldn't shut up about me on the way home. As for the party, my aunt's drunken ravings towards my wife was really damaging the atmosphere of the place. But once she left after I put my foot down, everyone seemed to be having a good time once again. Even though my wife thanked me for getting her out of that situation, and has barely left my side since, I'm going to regret that I allowed her to be in that situation in the first place for a very long time. At least now I know my aunt's behavior is too unpredictable to invite her to something like this in the future. TLDR. I had a housewarming party that I decided to invite my aunt to, who I had previously cut out of my life. She showed she hasn't really changed, and crossed the line by verbally attacking my wife. I put my foot down, but it doesn't help me not to feel guilty about my wife being in that situation because of my decision. Good on you for calling her out and defending your wife in front of everyone. You did the right thing. And it's very commendable of her husband to apologize and remove her from the situation. Seems like a decent person, difficult as it may be for him to have to put up with her. Curious about the Thanksgiving incident that caused you to cut her off if you're willing to share. Must have been worse than this incident, which is already terrible. Just wanted to say I'm really happy with how you handled the situation and defended your wife. Your aunt sounds nasty. Honestly man, FTK anyways. Sounds like your aunt needs an intervention from the family and is an alcoholic. I hope she finds the help she needs. No more chances after this one. You are a good husband. If I were your wife I would be happy about the fact that you regret ever allowing her to be in that situation. That shows me that you really care about her. Please don't think this was your fault. It wasn't. It was totally your aunt's and her drinking. You did what anyone would do in this situation and comforted your wife, and I'm sure she doesn't blame you either. As for your aunt, I'm afraid that the second chance should be the last and you should cut head off right away, but keep your uncle in your life as he sounds like an okay guy, and tell him you don't blame him for his wife's mouth. You have a good heart, so please keep it and don't blame yourself for others' attitude. Good luck to you and your wife. Cut her out of your life. That an accident of common genetics gave her a title. You don't have to have her around ever. Cut the toxic relations out of your life. If you wouldn't enjoy them as strangers, you don't have to tolerate them as family. This is tough. You want to give the second chance, but remember there is always a reason you made a decision in the past to cut her out. You tried. I would have no issues letting her know that she's unwelcome because she's an alcoholic who can't control her behavior when she drinks. Good man. Remember, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. You can choose your friends but not your family. This means these people are in your life for the entirety if you allow it. Because of this implied privilege to your lifelong relationship, many abuse their position. They'll take advantage until you realize it's best to keep them at distance. Unfortunate, but being family isn't an excuse to cross lines no one would otherwise.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.